Okay, guys, I just want everybody to know that I am still your women's SmackDown champion. Okay? Like, I don't care if Bianca and Sasha were fighting and Bianca won this. No, as you can see, I have it. I'm still the winner. Okay? I'm still your women's SmackDown champion. Me, not Bianca. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, that's not why I'm here. I'm here because let you guys know in the video there's like some jumps I had to edit, and there's also Tim's mic got muted because of me. I thought I muted my mic, but I muted his mic on accident, so there's that. So hopefully it's not that big of a deal, but I wanted to come in here and let you guys know that, and also hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to T2T Wrestling. My name is Toya Nice. I'm here with my friend Tim.
Hello, everyone.
And of course, we're doing the results of WrestleMania, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
There was a few moments I'm like, what the hell? But most of it was awesome.
No, nothing to say there. Again, like you said, there is one or two places where I'm like, that was a weird thing, but overall, this was one of the better ones we've had in. I mean, apart from the one in 2019, this was probably the best I've seen in this entire decade.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they did have a hiccup because it was delayed because of the weather. But I mean, if you know Florida, it rains a lot there.
I mean, if they absolutely want to do an outdoor stadium, that's not something you can control. So
right, exactly. But I mean, it went off. I mean, the superstars were like really good at like I guess improvising, I guess you would call it or whatever, and just going on the whim and stuff like that. Well, you wouldn't even like, oh, okay, it was part of the show, and you didn't think like, okay, they're not doing this to stall. They're really good.
Again, it worked really well, and I mean, apart from one little situation during the tag team turmoil on day one, you didn't even really notice the weather had been bad.
True, but let's get into this. So, our first match of the night was.
I think we should say. I know we said this last week, but this is just gonna be day one, guys. So come back tomorrow for the next video.
Yeah, day one, night one. So we have the first night. We have Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. WWE Championship.
Yeah.
Sorry.
WWE Championship. So. The one with the pedigree. The one going all the way back to Bruno Sammartino and the other guys.
Okay, so I beat a mark.
I'm going to hang up on you. I hate you.
You're right. That had to stop you.
Alright, what do we have to say about what do we have to say about Bobby and Drew? I think it was an awesome power match.
Yeah, like I had said before, like last time, I was like, this is gonna be a great power match.
Yeah. It really was. It was two really big guys beating the snot out of each other, and both of them having some really cool technical aspects as well, because they can do technical wrestling.
Yes, and I'm surprised. I'm surprised that like MVP didn't like interfere more, but I guess he didn't really have to.
Yeah, exactly. Again, I have the same issue I have with Jay and Roman that I have mentioned a few times, and that we will get to tomorrow. I don't really know if if Bobby Lashley needed to have outside interference to win this one, and I mean needed as in needed for his character, but overall it was the result we needed to have, and I love the way MVP is playing like the old school manager. You know,
Yeah.
the Bobby Heenan, the Colonel Parker, the whoever back from the 80s and 90s. We haven't seen that for some years. I really love what he's doing right now.
Yeah, I agree. Totally. It.
I give this match 4 stars.
Yeah, I
It
give it
was
like
just it was just
4. Yeah, it
really
was really
really
good. I mean,
good.
like, you have like Drew McIntyre gave like 3 future shocks to Bobby
Yeah,
Lashley, and
we
like,
haven't seen the Future Shock in ages. I'm so
right?
happy.
Gave him 3 and nothing.
Yeah. Again, the only thing I was a bit worried about is that they, in the beginning, is that they are making Bobby a little bit too powerful. You know, I'm worried that they might want to turn him into Brock version 2.
Right.
But obviously that's not going to, I mean, the rest of the match showed that's not going to happen. Well, it might be happening, but not in this match because, again, Bobby is a lot better technical wrestler, and as soon as they allowed Drew to get some offense in, it just again turned into this absolutely amazing back and forth, beating the snot out of each other match.
Yep. And then Bobby put Drew to sleep because he looked tired.
Yeah, exactly.
He looked sleepy.
Again, and that is also the right ending.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that he didn't tap and that like I said, at first when I saw this match, I was like, oh, God. Just if you want to have a dominant power heel, he doesn't constantly need outside interference to win. But I actually think this one is so new that they obviously, especially what happened with Raw on Monday, they obviously want to continue the storyline. So having the match end as it did with a technical submission rather than a tap out, I think is the right decision.
Yep, I agree. So obviously Bobby wins. Congrats on Bobby.
Yep. Congrats to Bobby. He should. By the way, I mean,
definitely.
Bob, if they're going to run Bobby Lashley finally, he shouldn't lose it in like one pay-per-view.
Right, exactly.
He needs to have it for at least a couple of months. So, SummerSlam we might be able to talk about, but he should maintain it at least until then. Sure. In my opinion.
I agree. So let's go to the next one, which was interesting. We got the tag team Turmoil for the women's championship match, and how this goes is 2 teams will fight, and whoever gets eliminated is eliminated, and whoever wins moves on. So we first start off with Naomi and Lana, and Billie Kay and Carmella, which I had said.
we did talk about that, and I think it was awesome. So again, the only problem, this is the only match from, I have a heck of a lot of good things to say about day one. Let's put it like this. This is the only match I didn't really like, and it's because they only gave like 15 minutes to a tag team Turmoil match, which means that a lot of the early goings just didn't get any time to develop.
Yeah, because I mean,
we had our first elimination after 2 minutes or something.
Right, because they had Billie Kay and Carmella eliminated Naomi and Lana because basically, like, they cheated. Like, Billie Kay was like pinning Lana, but then like Carmella had like Billie Kay's feet on her back, so like Lana couldn't get up, so that's how they won. Which was really
that's
quick.
Fine.
That's fine, but it was so quick, and it was like you would think.
Yeah, it was like less than 2 minutes, and I was like,
think they have like what? They have like 5 teams, so you think it would be like a little bit longer than like 2 minutes.
It was very weird, and again, I mean, we had to basically go up until the last of the matchups before we got some actual wrestling.
Right. So
until then, it was way too quick.
Let's go to the next one when Billie Kay and Carmella started fighting against the Riot Squad.
So, Riot Squad, yeah.
Riot Squad, again, they did good. They eliminated Billie Kay and Carmella.
They did. They absolutely did. And again, they should. I'm actually kind of sad Billie Kay and Carmella didn't take it.
Well,
I don't give a crap about Carmella.
We will get there.
Okay. No. I mean, we just said they were eliminated.
No,
I'm just saying,
you said I said Billie Kay and Carmella were eliminated by the Riot Squad.
Yeah. And I said, I'm sorry they didn't end up taking the whole
Billy
thing.
Kay? Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't really think they would.
No, I didn't think so either, and I still don't really care about Camilla, but I just think Billy Kay is having way too much fun right now, and I love
Yeah.
it.
So then the Riot Squad goes fight up against Mandy Rose and Dana Brooks. Dana Brooks looks so weird. Not like weird in a bad way, but
Yeah,
like
no, I know what you mean.
weird in
After she
like who
started,
the hell is this person?
yeah, I mean the two that is the three things I had. Well, four things I had to that particular part of the match. That was, oh, we have another Titus World Slide by Mandy.
Yeah,
That
true.
was, I think, the one time where the weather got in the way. On the way down the sloped ramp, Mandy Rose slipped and fell.
Yep, it was
Because
so
I mean,
quick.
it had
She
been
shot up
raining
so
on it for like
yeah.
hours. She got back up again, though it didn't mean anything, and apparently
Like
they had made it into.
I didn't even know that she had fell. So I was like saw on the internet like she did. I didn't notice.
Yeah, well, I saw her fall and I was like, what? Oh, she
No,
just slipped.
I didn't notice.
Apparently they have made it into a whole thing on Raw though, with Nia Jax as well.
Yeah, I seen that the other day.
Anyway, the other notes I have on that particular match was, damn Dana and Mandy needs better music, and but again, we can take that in our, worst intro music top 10. And then I had, what the hell have they done to Dana Brooks? Because I
Yeah.
agree, she looks wrong. I mean, leaving everything else aside, Dana was always like the tough little cookie power lifter.
Right?
And now suddenly they're dressing her up as Mandy in
Like
what
Mandy's
looks
like
like
sister or
a long
something.
blonde wig and pink clothing. It was super
It was
weird.
weird. I was just like, who is that chick? Where's Dana?
Yeah.
What did they do with her?
Yeah.
Like, what the heck?
Yeah, it's really weird. Especially because I liked it. I couldn't tell them apart.
No.
I literally thought it was like, which one of them is which one of them?
I'm like, did that Mandy Rose get a twin or something? What's happening?
Yeah.
I'm like,
It was very weird, and I don't like it.
I don't like it either. I think
again, the other thing I said is, again, the match needed a lot more time at this point. What I have on my notes is they have gotten a lot better athletically because all of these girls are really good, or at least really, really competent. But this felt like an old Divas style match.
Yeah, I agree.
Where it was just like, let them throw a Hurricane Rana and then a finisher, and then people can go back from their pee break. And I just think it was very, very weird.
But yeah, they got eliminated. Mandy and Dana got eliminated by Riot Squad, which I honestly thought, because you know how I was like, okay, like Carmella eliminated like Lana and them, and then Riot Squad eliminated this person. I always thought, okay, the other team's gonna eliminate this. I was like, oh Lord, don't let it be like that. It's like, well, okay, they made it to the Riot Squad, which I was hopeful because I was like, oh, Riot Squad beat two groups now. I'm like, okay.
I was like, yeah. At that point, I was like, okay, are they actually gonna give it to her? I would like to see that.
I would like to see that too. I'm like, okay. Yeah. But then like you have Natalia and Tamina come out. And I was just like, poor Ruby and Lilith looked so tired and drained out. And I'm just like, come on, girl, you can pull through. Like, come on, Liv, come on, Riot Squad, put through. You can beat them. I know you can.
The last team is Natalia and Tamina.
Yeah.
And I have to say that I usually say that Tamina suffered from not having a personality. It seems like they are trying to rectify that. She's actually wrestling as more than just a Nia Jax clone right now.
Which is good.
Which is really good. Again, I keep saying almost anyone can get over, but it demands that they have a personality, either in the way they wrestle or just on the mic or something. That's one of the things that Bobby Lashley has always lacked. And I'm happy to start to seeing him move past that now, even if it's mostly because, well, MVP is talking for him. but the point still holds.
Yeah.
Anyway, then the match finally got good.
Yeah.
The last
last match
was
of
where
the Turmoil, it got a lot better. It was like, okay, no, these are wrestlers that are fighting.
again they only had about 5 minutes, and they could really have done with another 5,
Yep.
I guess. But at this point, the first, if you're watching this and if you need a pee break, just go pee at the beginning and then come back in after 9 minutes when Natalia and Tamina
Pretty
shows
much.
up, because then the match actually got
you need to
good.
get a refresh your drink, go to the bathroom, get some
Yeah.
snacks, whatever. Yeah, the first 9 minutes. Go ahead. You ain't missing much of nothing.
This is the only match from day one I didn't like. Let's put it like that. The only match from day one I didn't care for.
Yeah, I didn't.
But yeah, I don't mean Natalia and Tamina against the Riot Squad. I could have watched the entire match with just those two.
Yeah.
But I was talking about the whole tag team Turmoil. I just didn't.
Yeah,
like
but I just didn't like it because it's just how it was. It was so short, and these girls or these women or whatever, they're so good at what they do,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like giving them a step back. And it's like, I mean,
Yeah,
I understand they were pressed for time. I get that.
I get that too, but again, it's Mania. This took both evenings took like 3.5 hours.
That's it, because I don't
They
really
could
know.
have given another 5 minutes to each match.
True.
No problem.
True, but I mean, I don't know, because I mean, maybe it's a contract with the Peacock. I don't know. Could be anything. I don't know.
I don't know either. Again, like I said, it felt like a throwback to the Diva days, and that's never a good thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So
Natalia and Tamina eventually picks it up.
So they're going to be going on night 2. We will talk about that.
It was a pretty good ending. It's always nice when you get like the callbacks when, Natalia does something that her dad used to do, or Tamina in this case do the Superfly splash and so on. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool. I liked it. The ending. So my favorite match coming up next is Seth Rollins versus Ariel. I love this match.
I have only one complaint about this match in any way, and that is the same I have with everyone else. It should have had at least 5 more minutes.
You and your time frame.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
You have to admit they probably started late. They probably have a time limit. Okay.
That could very well be the reason. I just think this match. Last week I said that this match could very well be the match of the entire show, and I do think it at least got close. And had they had a 20-minute match, it could have been a 5-star, no problem.
Tim likes to complain about time, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry about that.
Shut up!
Tim is a mark. I apologize to the audience. No, I was kidding. But no, I liked it. I mean, I understand that it was like short, but I was like, for what? For the time that it was good.
No.
You can't say. It's all the complain about is just like the time. It was good. Cause you know
this was the best match of the night.
Cause sometimes you don't need to be like, I don't need to kick your ass for like 20 minutes. I could do it. If I could do it in 5, go ahead. But like
no, absolutely. It's simply because I want to see these two do more.
You just need them to go at it more. I mean, they're probably have more opportunities and more pay-per-views for that.
This was the one where I wanted to shout fight forever, because man, they are good.
Oh, they were so good. You know what my favorite moment? My favorite moment when Seth Rollins was coming to do a stomp on Cesaro, and he conquered it with an uppercut. I'm like,
he reversed a stomp into an uppercut. How do you even do that?
Right? I was like, that was like the switch around right there. I was like, what?
So awesome.
That was so freaking cool. I
Also,
was
let me
like,
just say,
what?
let me just say, I love the UFO.
I
I
do.
know it's one of those really stupid moves that can't do any damage, but holy crap, is it awesome!
It looks like it would be fun.
I know! The UFO, in case you don't know it, is kind of a variety of the Cesaro swing, except that he takes you up in what is basically like a torture rack cradle, and then spins you around on his shoulders. I don't know how it's possible to do, but it looks absolutely awesome.
Oh yeah, it looks like fun. It looks like something that you can do with like your little kids, little nieces, nephews, or cousins, something like that,
Yeah,
and just do that. And it's like, well, how many times he got it? He
it's
spun around like 23 times plus the 10 before because he had like an arm was
yeah.
started hurting. I'm like, man, that made me dizzy.
It was so fun. It was such a fun and just really, really awesome match.
And it was also great that
I really hope this program isn't over yet,
oh
because I
yeah,
want to see these two keep fighting.
oh yeah, they're great. I think they should do the next pay per view is like Backlash. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But
Also, I am so happy. I mean, Cesaro won.
yes.
And I'm so happy they gave it to Cesaro. I didn't think they would, but
I mean,
I wanted
I
them to.
figured they would
So
because it's a good stepping stone for him and stuff like that. So
you,
and who
even
better
if even
to
if
go against than Seth Rollins because
yeah,
he's very good at like what do you call it? Like
yeah, elevating others.
elevating others, making other people
Others look
look
good.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, making others look good. Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, he can carry. He's one of those wrestlers. Again, there is like the 10 wrestlers that can always carry anyone to a good match. The thing is, he doesn't need to carry Cesaro, so they can just concentrate on making each other look awesome.
Yep. Agreed.
And again, you know what? This, even if Seth Rollins end up winning the feud, I mean, if it's not over, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the old Macho Man versus Diamond Dallas Page in WCW,
Oh
where
yeah.
it was like, until then, Page had been like a mid carder. I think he had one U.S. title run, and feuded over the over the TV title with Mark Mero for some time. But other than that, he had just been, he's been a regular mid carder. And then that feud with Savage, and even though he lost, he was like a main event guy until the company died after that. I could imagine this being something like that.
I agree with
Because
you.
you cannot see this match and not conclude that Cesaro, first of all, that the fans don't like him. I mean, the fans love him, and the fact that he can carry a proper main event run.
Exactly. So yeah, congrats to him. He deserves that.
Yeah, and congrats to Rollins, by the way.
No,
Congrats
yeah,
to
of
both
course.
of them. It was
They're both.
absolutely amazing match.
Rollins is amazing. He's just an amazing wrestler all around.
Yeah.
But let's go to the next one. We got the Raw Tag Team titles. New Day versus AJ Styles and Omos.
And we predicted this exactly how this match went, and it was awesome.
Yeah, so like in the first part of the match, they pretty much they got AJ to start. They're like, hey AJ, you start, and then they pretty much had like AJ in their corner for like most of the time, so AJ couldn't get to Omos for like what, about how many minutes?
I mean, the match was like the match was like 10 minutes long. 8 of them was Kofi and Woods just beating the snot out of AJ, and then the last 2 minutes is almost tagging in and just demolishing New Day.
Yep, it was a massacre. It was just bad. It was like this Godzilla going through the Godzilla just tearing up Japan or whatever, or King Kong tearing up New York or whatever. It was just bad.
Yeah, I'm like, it might even have been too much. I mean, you have to think that someone can defeat them, but I mean, now the Viking Raiders have come back and they can at least match some size,
some power, yeah.
But I mean, it was the way the match had to go, and it was
I don't even
It was really
know
good.
if I could say he's a good wrestler. I just say he's big and he was scary.
That's the problem. We still don't know how he
I
is
mean,
in the
all he
ring
was
because he
doing
didn't wrestle.
he didn't wrestle. He just destroyed. It was just.
I mean, you
That would be
don't know
like
how good
me go over
someone.
there and smashing the Oreo cookies, saying ah.
Exactly. You don't know how good someone is until they have to sell.
Exactly.
That's literally when you know how good someone is. Not when they have offense, but when they have to be beaten up.
Yep. So if you get someone
And
his close to
we
his
have at
size.
no point ever seen Omos be on the defensive. We need to see him like that before we can say if he is a proper
So yeah, we
wrestler.
can't really say, but it was just.
But in the
I
Braun
think
Strowman I alone can win a match kind of thing, that's where he worked.
I think I had said a prayer for the New Day at that day. New
No, I
Day
haven't.
over.
Do you know what I thought was interesting?
What?
I mean, AJ and Omos was obviously the heels, and I don't even know if there was a heel team in this match. But if there was, it was AJ and Omos. But New Day basically fought this match as the cocky heels.
Yeah, I
They
noticed
basically
that.
talked to AJ and was like,
I mean, not that I would mind New Day being a heel, but yeah, I've noticed
no,
that.
no, absolutely. I just think it was like they went into the match as the faces, but they didn't act like it.
Like they didn't act like a bunch of faces.
No, they really acted like the heels. But again, I wouldn't mind either having them as heels. I just think it's a waste of them. Again, the New Day is probably the greatest face team in the company altogether.
Yeah.
And I think it's a waste to turn them until you have someone else ready to take over. But no, it was the right. I mean, AJ and Omos won. Like we said, they at the end they just demolished New Day. And that was the story-wise, it was the right decision. I just want to see what they do to make Omos seem like he can be defeated.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they can get the title off them easily enough, just distract him and, pin AJ. But I just feel like it would be better if it at least looks like the man can be damaged.
I agree.
But great match. We predicted it like 100% exactly, beat for beat, how it was going to go.
I figured they were going to give it to him because now he got that Grand Slam too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, congratulations to AJ on that, by the way. But yeah, no, this was a good match. I'm very happy with this match. The funny thing is, this was actually, apart from the individual matches in the tag team turmoil, this was actually the shortest match of the evening, but it didn't feel like it, which means that it was fun to watch. Yeah. No, it was, and again,
a little bit of comedy there from both teams.
Both AJ and especially the New Day they didn't make the New Day look weak.
Oh yeah, that was.
But someone like Omos.
Even when Omos was attacking them, it didn't make them look weak. Because that was one of the things that I was worried about. I was like, okay, because they're not weak. We know this.
No, yeah, exactly. I mean, Kofi is still a former WWE champion. Exactly. I would like to remind people.
Yes. In case you didn't know, WrestleMania 35.
In case you didn't know, and if you didn't know,
now you know.
You're an idiot. But no, yeah, that was a really good match.
All right, well,
I don't think.
Let's go to the next one then, because this one's a fun one.
Oh yeah.
I got Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman, in a cage match.
In a cage match. Do you remember me saying that that this was going to be a match where Shane basically eventually did something really, 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 really crazy to entertain the fans and destroy himself?
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Yeah. We'll get to that.
So you got Shane goes into the cage, and then here comes Braun Strowman, and right behind Braun Strowman was Elias and Jackson. They pretty much just beat him with chairs before he got to the cage.
Yep, and threw him in.
Threw him in. Yep.
I actually really liked the match. It made Braun look vulnerable and made it look like a match without taking away from the fact that if Braun actually gets his hands on Shane, there is nothing he can do. It was like Shane almost boxing, dancing around Braun and like throwing punches and ducking under his returns.
Yep. Yeah.
And yet every time Braun then got his hands on him, he was just manhandling him. It was so good.
It was really good.
Like originally, I thought this was going to be just a spectacle match. I said that last week, but no, this was an actual wrestling match. I give this another 4 stars, and I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
This was not my match of the evening, but it was probably my surprise of the evening.
Match,
just how good it was.
Yeah, I mean, they got some good moments. They had some really, really good moments, like when I guess Jax and Elias are trying to climb up the cage, and then Braun showed him to spear the cage and then bounce him right off.
Yeah,
that was like one good moment.
It was really good. And I mean, Shane is Shane. He hit a coast to coast because he has to hit a coast to coast.
Right, at his old age.
I mean, I just keep saying with Shane, you're 47.
You're like part of the company. You own like part of the company. Why are you doing all this?
Yeah, you have 2 kids. You don't have to do this. You don't have to kill yourself over this.
Don't you have 3 kids?
3 kids, sorry. You don't have to kill yourself over this. You really don't. But apparently he really does, and I mean, I can't blame him for helping to put on. Again, this might have been the best match I've ever seen Braun Strowman in.
Yeah, I agree.
It's really that simple. It just played to his strength so well, and then that ending. Oh God, that end. I have never seen anything like that in a cage fight ever before.
Oh my
in a cage
goodness
match ever before.
So
I have seen so many things people have done. Like there was the time that Roman speared Brock through the cage and so on. I have never ever seen anything like this.
So spoiler alerts, but so looked like Shane was going over the cage. Looked like he was about to escape. He puts his hands through and he's like waving to like Braun, like bye. Braun goes up there,
and stops him,
holds his hand, and just rips the fence down off the cage. I was like, what in the world?
I have seen
so many people
like
try to escape or try to pull people back in the cage or something like that, but not that.
Never. I mean, I have seen people take the cage apart in various power moves. I have never seen someone literally rip the the
link
from
the link of the cage,
the link fence from bars.
Yeah, I was like,
it was
whoa.
It was so good.
I was not expecting that because I was like, oh no, Shane's gonna win, and I'm like, and he's holding him, and I'm thinking to myself when he's holding his hand, and I'm like, how is he gonna bring him back over? And he just rips it. I'm like, holy shit.
Shit. And I mean, I honestly don't even know if they weakened it. I mean, they almost had to, but that was where Jackson Stryker climbed up.
Yeah.
So I mean, they almost have had to weaken it because I doubt even Braun could have just pulled that out.
But
it
looks so good, though. It looks so good.
I mean, if you ask for moment of the night, this was one of the 3 moments of the night. There was the Cesaro, reversing a stump into an uppercut. There was Braun Strowman pulling the cage apart, and then there is something in the next match after this, but we'll talk about that when we get there. But yeah, Braun then gets him into the cage, does a running power slam, and wins.
After he throws him from the top.
Sorry. We did talk about that. Of course, Shane has to have a moment where he, makes us think he's all dead, because they're on the top of the cage, they're on the top of the damn cage, and Braun just yeets him down in the ring.
Just throws him down like a rag
doll.
Not
even a table to break the fall. Yes, I know it's supposed to be very powerful to go through a table, but we all know it's actually, breaking their fall from a big height. Nope, just from the top of the cage straight down into the ring. Boom.
Yeah, it was bad. It was like, ooh, ouch.
That was again where I was like, Shane, no, I beg you. You have children.
Shane, you got a wife and kids. Think of them. Come on now. You don't have to do this. You can hire people to do this, Shane.
Again, it was forced. I mean, I would give this match 5 stars just because I think a match needs to be judged on who is in it and what you expected from it to begin with. And I expected a fairly quick spectacle match, and instead we got a really good match, like a super good match. Best match. Again, I keep saying, I agree. Best match Braun Strowman has ever been in.
Agreed. But, yep, Braun won, obviously. Well, congratulations. So hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully that means they'll do something with Braun again, because he's been like in limbo for way too long.
Agreed. So we'll go to the next.
He was in. Okay, on Raw. On Raw, there was a. On Raw, then there was I think a triple threat to determine Lashley's next challenger, where it was Braun and Drew and who was the last?
Randy Orton.
So I mean, at least they are elevating him to sort of the. He didn't win, Braun, but they are elevating him to like the sort of the main level again, which I'm happy about.
Yeah, I agree with that. We'll go to the next one. We got Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus Miz and John Morrison, or AKA Johnny Drip, whatever the hell he calls himself.
let me just say one thing before we get to that match. Bayley didn't have a match, but she had some segments all through the evening of her trying to, hang out with various people, mostly Titus and Hulk Hogan, by the way.
She wouldn't hang out. She pretty much considered herself the third host of WrestleMania. And
sorry, you fell out.
She was basically considering herself as the third host of WrestleMania.
Yeah, Mania. Yeah. I mean, just before the tag team match now with Bunny and Priest versus Eminem, I guess you can call it. She joins the announcing table, and I just want to say again, the rest of the skits were okay, but I mean, I could also have done without them. But I will never get tired of Bayley messing with Michael Cole.
Oh yeah, that's
ever.
Funny. Yeah, I agree.
It's like joining the announcement table. It's like, Michael Cole, you idiot, shut up. And I will never get tired of that one. But yeah, Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus Miz and Morrison. Let me just say, Miz and Morrison's intro was freaking hilarious.
Yep, it was. I loved it. At first, I thought it was like Bad Bunny's entrance.
Yeah, which could have been cool as well, but no, they did something far better with him. But yeah, Miz and Morrison basically came down with a bunch of people dressed as bunnies, jumping around.
Yep, it was awesome.
It was
for their new song they have, whatever. If you haven't heard it yet,
it was really, really good.
But yeah, it was real good. I'll give credit to Bad Bunny. He actually did pretty good.
This match was, again, we talked about it last week and said we hoped this would be a good match because we knew he had spent, the last 3 months practicing, and it really was. Yeah. I mean, I will go so far as to say this is probably the best celebrity match I have ever seen.
Yeah, definitely. You could totally tell he did his work, and he went out there and he killed it.
I was really afraid I wasn't going to like this match, but I loved it. I
was the same way too. Same way like you. I'm like, this match is gonna suck. I'm like, hopefully this is gonna. But it was actually pretty good. I mean, he stayed in the match for most of the match.
I mean, Bad Bunny was in there. The match was like 15 minutes long, and Bad Bunny was in there, or at least in action, for like 12 of those minutes.
Yep.
That's not something you do if you don't at least have the stamina for it.
True.
I mean, you can still see that he's obviously not a fully trained wrestler. Most of the beginning, most of the first part of the match was Miz versus Bunny, and it's so obvious that Miz is basically carrying him all the way through.
You could tell. That's what I was saying. It was kind of like if you're like playing with like a little kid, and you pretend like the little kid punches you, or the little kid's holding you up, or something like that.
Yeah.
And you could totally tell that it was like that. But for his effort,
anyone who knows wrestling could see it. But again, compared to many other of those kinds of matches I have seen, they still managed to make it look really good and really cool. And again, Miz is also one of the... Considering how Miz started out, he might be the wrestler of the century.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, going from where he was when he first came in to where he is today. Just in terms of improvement. But he carried Bunny, and he carried him to a... I mean, for the first 5 minutes of the match, when it was just... 8 minutes of the match, I think, where it was just Bad Bunny and Miz, I thought, this is going to be a perfectly serviceable 3-star match, and one of the best celebrity matches I've ever seen. Then Damian Priest came in, and it actually turned into a super good wrestling match. You could tell the difference the second, there were actual wrestlers on both sides.
Oh, yeah.
But Bad Bunny kept being involved, like doing a suicide dive on the outside and stuff like that, like he did back at the Rumble.
Agreed.
Agreed. That was when the moment when I was like, holy crap, this is getting really super good. I am so into this.
Oh yeah, I was surprised. I was like, I was surprised. I was like,
and then
it wasn't just some quick.
And then
quick move. It wasn't some quick move and or like Damian Priest does the most of the work and he comes in and he's like, no. He was like, no, I want to go out there. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Again, that was what a lot of other those kind of matches is. The celebrity is in. He gets carried around a bit. The actual wrestler comes in and does all of the trick and then does all of the stuff, and then, the celebrity gets to pin. No. Bunny was involved all the way through, and again, I mean, he's too small, obviously, but if he ever wanted to stop being a apparently popular mumble rapper, he should go down and train at the performance center for about a year. I think he could actually be a proper wrestler.
I think he could be great. He's definitely got potential.
Then at the end, almost at the end, of course, we had probably the what the fuck moment of the evening, the last of the what the fuck moments of the evening, and I never want to hear a bad word about John Morrison ever again after this, by the way. We had a situation where Bad Bunny did outside the ring did a flip DDT on John Morrison, and the crowd went crazy.
Oh yeah, well I think that had been like John Morrison for flexibility, but it was like
I mean this was when you actually look at it, especially in slow motion, it's super obvious that John Morrison does. This is why I say I don't ever want to hear bad things about. He does all of the work.
Oh yeah, all of it.
Usually a move is two people working together. This was literally John Morrison going from a weird sort of bent over position to flipping himself into a DDT.
Talk about like flexibility
while
and stuff like that.
Bad Bunny around.
At the same time, talk about flexibility and strength.
Yeah, it was like again the crowd went crazy.
Respect on John Morrison's name.
And it made Bunny look super good again for the match. But yeah, they chanted Morrison's name. Holy crap! I didn't know a human body could do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's always been able to do like crazy stunts and shit.
Yeah,
like
I know, but it was like
it was good.
That was the moment of the match, and that was all John Morrison.
I was like, wow, how did he do that?
Yeah.
Like, how did he carry Bad Bunny and flipped over like that? Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
I mean, the first time I saw it, was like, holy shit, Bunny can do that? And then I saw it in slow-mo, and was like, no, he couldn't. John Morrison can do that, and that shouldn't be physically possible. Again, guys, if you haven't watched this, or if you just want one moment from the entire evening to watch, you need to go watch that outside the ring, like flip DDT. John Morrison pulls on himself. He basically goes like 180 degrees from a half-lying position with carrying another guy.
Yep, it's crazy.
It shouldn't be possible. But after that, people went in the ring, and Bunny eventually pinned Miz, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
No, again.
Yeah, but I mean,
probably best celebrity match. Again, this was one of those things where I was apprehensive, but yeah, this is probably the best celebrity match I've ever seen.
Oh, definitely.
Really that simple.
I'll give Bad Bunny his credit. You know, I will talk shit, but I give him his credit and good congratulations to him on his win as long as they're priest. Yeah, but
but yeah, the women's SmackDown Women's Championship, Bianca Belair versus the champion Sasha Banks.
Yep, the EST versus the Boss.
Yes.
And it's probably one of my favorite matches of the night. Well, because night one, we didn't know about night two, but from that night, it was one of my favorite matches. It was iconic because I didn't even think that this was going to be the main event, honestly.
I didn't. I mean, I thought it was going to be Lashley versus McIntyre.
That's what I thought too. I thought this might be like the second to the last match, maybe.
Yeah.
But
I actually thought they might have started with this, because they do like to start with one of the more promised matches to like get the audience riled up. So I thought it might even have been, the first match of the evening, but I am very, very, very happy they made it the
I am very happy they made it the main event, because like this is like the first time that I have to have like a women's match with singles women, for WrestleMania, and happens to be black women as well. I'm just like, that's pretty cool. Like, I mean, at the beginning of the match, when they're both just looking at each other, and like you see Bianca's about to tear up, and like Sasha's trying to be like hold it in, like I'm a heel, I can't cry, I can't smile.
We talked about that this week. It was just,
but I mean, it's moments like that where you're just like, this is why I love wrestling, because yes. Yeah.
Before he goes back to being Edge again. This is the same here. I mean, that is not playing. That's literally Bianca crying because she is overwhelmed and happy.
Well, and plus you got the audience. They're cheering for Bianca. They're cheering for, Sasha. Bianca. They're cheering for Sasha, and it's just. I mean, it's been a while since like these people had like spot in front of an audience too. Cause that could be like.
Oh yeah, I wanted to say that as the very first thing, but I got away with it. Moment of the day, the fact that there was people in the audience.
Oh yes, definitely.
That the chants and the actual, audience sound was so obviously matching the crowd. It was, oh god, it made me so happy.
Well, actually, one of my favorite moments also was when Vince McMahon said "Welcome to WrestleMania." Everyone was cheering and stuff like that.
We didn't really talk about that.
We didn't talk about that, but great moment. It was like a feel-good moment. It's like, oh yes, finally, people.
I mean, it's also at this point in time, I don't think Vince needs to play the heel anymore.
No, I think Vince should just play Vince and just be the guy who owns the company, and that's it.
Yeah, and I mean, people love Vince. People always love seeing Vince as long as it's, with proper breaks between. And that was one of those moments where it was just like, thank you, Vince.
Thank you, Vince. Bye. But anyway, let's go back to
Yeah.
this
Thank
match.
you, Vince. Bye.
This
Let's get some
match was.
wrestling done.
So then they finally, they got their emotions and they finally went started to the match, and this was just so good.
This was the perfect example of how you play someone with skill and power against someone with skill and agility.
Yep, definitely.
It was again.
Also,
If
I
anyone,
want to say before you go on, I liked Sasha's outfit. I thought she
yeah,
looked really cute. The hair. I
yellow.
usually don't like green hair, but like the green with the blue hair, it looks cute. And
No, it
was
worked
really
super well.
It went really well, and it was just she
It
looks
worked
super
super well. Also
cute.
with the contrast, with the darker stuff that Bianca was wearing.
Yeah.
Or more muted colors. It's difficult to say muted colors because it was shiny and sparkly, but still somewhat more muted colors of
Her
no,
purple
it was
outfit.
super good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good.
No, I mean this was like you said, this after the sort of what kind of women's matches are we watching during the tag team turmoil earlier? This was, this was what what the current women's division can do.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was the main event too, so it had to be. It
Yeah,
had to be a lot better than what we had saw earlier in that
yeah,
night.
exactly. I mean, we've seen good women's matches before. We know what they can do, but it was nice to see it because it's been a while since we had one of those where they just give them the opportunity to just go balls out and just smack everything through.
I agree. So, one of the moments that I like when they're like pulling on Sasha was pulling on her hair, and then she said, "Let go of my hair." And once there, you can hear it from like miles away, probably. I was like, "Ouch, man!" That reminds me of like my days when I used to get spanked. Like, oh.
See the welt Sasha had not even 30 seconds later.
Yes, I did. I was like, oh, I
Like,
felt
holy
that,
crap,
man. I felt that in my skin. I felt like I got a welt in my stomach. Like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, do
Oh
not
god,
touch that girl's hair. You don't never touch a black woman's hair. Learn your lesson.
Yeah.
Don't touch black women's hair.
No, I will. I mean, I know as a white man, it's my job to go and like put my hands in it and say weird noises. But now I expect to be whipped to death by said same hair. Oh,
I mean, obviously she used her hair a lot when she whipped her hair. I think the one time I remember she did that to like Becky Lynch. I was like,
yeah.
oh, poor Becky.
Again, yeah, and Becky even had like she hit Becky on her costume.
Yeah.
Bianca, Sasha had her usual, bare midriff. She was literally just pounded on her naked body, so to speak.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was just I don't have no words. I just feel bad for Sasha at that moment. I'm like, ooh, Sasha, girl, no, I know that
Yeah.
hurt. I felt that. You can hear the whole
Yeah.
crowd go, woo. It was just, but I mean, like it was just an amazing match. They did such a good job. Freaking Michael Cole.
I mean, the thing is, I have quite a number of notes on practically every other match. I have like 3 notes on this one, and that's because I got so into the match that I forgot to write stuff down.
Yeah, me too. I had to actually go back and like watch it again because I was just like, it's like one of those matches where it's like, okay, I'm gonna watch it because I'm into it, and I'm gonna watch it to take some notes or whatever.
Again, we remember we talked about, not you by the way, but the audience might remember we talked about the WWE needs to create more top women's wrestlers so we can have like more than the usual feuds.
Yeah.
They have done that with Bianca because if she can pull a match like this with Sasha, I want to see her against Bayley and Becky and Charlotte and all the others.
Oscar and all of them, yeah, I definitely agree.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely agree, but
I mean, again, after Raw, After SmackDown, who knows what will? Sorry, they are on SmackDown. After what happens on SmackDown on Friday, who knows what will happen? I mean, I assume Sasha will get a rematch. That's
Because
usually the
Bianca won. We
case.
didn't say that, but yeah, Bianca won.
Oh, sorry, Bianca won. Yeah. I think. Sorry, yeah, I got ahead of myself. But it was like, yeah, Bianca won as she should. I mean,
That's what
there
as
was
we
no
all
way
thought
that
she
was going to
would.
go otherwise.
Yeah, as we all thought she would win.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is one of those where I know Vince likes to surprise people, and sometimes he falls for the temptation of just saying, as long as it's a surprise, it's good, even if it turns out that the audience absolutely loathes it. But in this case, I think everyone could see Bianca had to win this one. There was no other way,
Yeah.
and she did, and it was
Yeah,
great.
she won with the KOD, which is
Um,
Kiss of Death, and
yeah,
then Michael Cole. It was a three count, three. Pen of 1, 2, 3. Michael Cole's like, she kicked
yeah,
out. She kicked out. I'm like, what? Did she
yeah,
really kick out? No, she didn't.
yeah.
Did she? It had me panicking, man, because I couldn't like rewind it because it was on Peacock, and you can't rewind it on Peacock when it's going live. And I was just like, did she? Like, no, she did it. Shut up, Michael Cole.
Yeah, we should have had Bailey come in then. Shut up, you idiot.
I was like, what the heck?
Um,
But no.
I was that's the one note I had from the ending of the match beyond how happy I was with this match and how happy I am to see Bianca as champion. That was like, what the hell was that flub from Cole?
I
Did
know,
he
right? I was like, what the
expect her to kick out? What I mean, what
I mean,
happened
I
there?
like the cover. Like, I got so excited, I thought she kicked out. I'm like, okay, Michael
I mean,
Cole,
it.
nice
I mean,
cover, I guess.
I guess it's possible they had another couple of things to do and called it because Sasha got really hurt by that hair whip, but I don't think so. It looked like it was the natural progression of the match.
Yeah, it looked like it, but I
Um,
mean, I think Michael Cole just made a mistake, if you ask me, but it
yeah.
happens. It
I
happens.
again, I the only thing I can say is I feel like there were some blown spots sometimes in this match, which I thought was really weird. But looking back at it a second time, it was like, no, I don't think so. Anyway, I think that's just because they have only worked together so and so much, so they're still feeling each other out
Yeah,
sometimes.
because they didn't really have an opportunity to fight against each other. They just
No,
fought with each other with all these tag teams that were so
yeah, exactly.
unnecessary.
Again, a couple of matches against each other might have been a good thing. But I mean, they still managed to tear the house down. So
Oh, yeah, they did a great job.
good on that.
Congratulations.
Good on them for that.
Congratulations to both women.
Yep.
That was
Yeah.
amazing.
Again, it makes. I mean,
It was a great
I
ending
know
to our
Sasha.
first night.
It's been a really weird thing for Sasha. I know she was out of. I know she had heat backstage after the whole thing with her and Bailey and them losing the titles at Mania. Was it 2 years ago? Was it last year? But it's been a weird thing with Sasha because when they first came up, the Four Horsewomen. The Four Horsewomen is a term that was used primarily in NXT, actually, and it was like the four most dominant female wrestlers of that time, who are still, to a certain degree, the most dominant female wrestlers today. That's Charlotte Flair, that's Becky Lynch, it's Sasha Banks, and it's Bayley. Sasha was the one of those who came up and was really dominant really quickly. The last couple of years, she seemed to have been in the shadow of the others. And that's really weird. So I'm super happy to see her back at being able to show off how good she really is.
Yeah, I agree about her, showing off her talents, I should say.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I don't know, maybe she's in a slump or something. I don't know.
I don't know what. I mean, I know she was probably being punished. I mean, she sat out, what was it, 3 months at one point? I know she was probably being punished for throwing a hissy. At least that's what everyone said. She was being punished for throwing a hissy fit when she and Bailey dropped the titles.
Tag titles, yeah.
The tag titles. I also think, by the way, them dropping the titles at that time was the wrong decision. But again, if you can't throw a hissy fit over that kind of thing. You just can't.
You really
I mean,
can't.
that's the sort of thing you just have to accept as a wrestler. Sometimes.
Well, I
Which
think
is
he
again
talked
what
about that on Broken Skulls a little bit.
they did. They
So,
did.
yeah,
They
you
did.
can
And
just go check
again, I
that
don't
out.
know. It's one thing is what the dirt sheet says. Another thing is what actually happened. And I don't know how bad it was. She can also have been injured for all I know.
She could have been emotionally stressed. I don't know what's going on
Yeah.
with her. I mean,
The
we're not
point is,
friends.
I'm just really. I mean, I know some of it has to do with Becky getting pregnant. But I'm just really happy to see, and then Charlotte, you know, sitting out, Charlotte going out. So again, it's not because Charlotte would have been involved with this match. She's on Raw, but without them around, Sasha kind of had to carry a lot more than she otherwise would, and it just allowed people again to see just how good she is. And
Because
of course, the last couple of months we have seen how good Bianca is. So again, I'm super excited about the right now, and with the girls coming up from NXT, the women's division in the next couple of years. Because again, none of the four horsewomen are particularly old. They can keep going for years. So with the girls coming up from NXT, the women's division can be something very, very special in the next few years.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Yes, definitely. It's really surprising too that because usually, like back in the day, it was like Bailey was the one who was, you know, needed to
Yeah,
like
in the
do the
shadow to a
shadows and
certain
stuff like
degree.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun how things just turn
Um,
around.
I think it's because again, I think the thing with Bailey is the same thing as always. I keep complaining about it. Again, call me a mark, or you actually don't call me a mark. I keep complaining about it. Is that WWE has a problem with getting faces over? I don't even actually. That's not true. I don't think WWE has a problem with getting faces over. I think they have a problem booking faces in a way that gets them over. It was like Bailey, the second Bailey was allowed to become a heel, where it's like, okay, now you can cut loose and do what you want. It was like people suddenly realized just how good she is.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Uh,
I can see that.
I still think the WWE really needs to be better at booking and writing a face because they haven't. We've been through this before, and we'll probably go through it again, but they haven't really created a decent top babyface in a very long time now. So I have great hope for Bianca, who's obviously playing face.
Obviously,
Uh,
but I wouldn't mind her playing heel either.
no, absolutely not. I'm just, I mean, I'm just saying. I
I
kind
mean,
of
here's
hope
the
they
thing,
can
right?
do.
I mean, I know she was an NXT champion, but we'll see how she's gonna be as a SmackDown Women's
Of course,
Championship
I
because
mean, it is
it's like
different.
one thing to go and try to get the belt. It's another thing to try to keep the belt and make it seem like interesting and make it seem like
Yeah,
well everyone's trying to get you and stuff like that.
yeah. And again, I just hope they can write her as interesting as she's been so far, and also
I'm also like
as a good
want to
face.
see like some new faces
Mhm. Again,
as
I
well.
hope they move up people like Tony Storm and Shotzi Blackheart before. I mean, Shotzi is currently champ
She's a tag
NXT
team
Tag
on
Team Champion
NXT tag team, so I don't think she's gonna be going up
With Ember
anytime
Moon, so
soon.
that's not going to happen.
That ain't gonna happen anytime soon, anyway.
I'm just saying, I kind of hope they are moving up some of those people, Io Shirai, and
Probably. That's probably why she probably lost.
yeah, Io Shirai lost the NXT Women's title, but
Yeah.
moving someone like her up and Shotzi Blackheart when she loses the title again, I think would also be good to rejuvenate. That's what I mean. All of them up would rejuvenate the women's division again in a certain way. Because it's not like there has been a lot of bad matches, because there's been a lot of really good matches, but it has been a bit stagnant in the last couple of years, just because there's only been so and so many that's been challenging for the main title, and and then with Alexa out of commission for almost a year, certainly didn't help either.
Yeah. Oh, we could talk about that, Alexis.
That'll be tomorrow when we get to.
I got
I mean,
questions about that, but yeah, we can talk about that tomorrow.
yeah, me too. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, no. Well, we'll get to that.
We'll get that
We'll
tomorrow.
get
We'll
to
talk
the
about that
Fiend match
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
We'll talk about that
But
tomorrow.
yeah,
'Cause that'll be
I
like
have
number
both
one anyway.
positive, negative, and confused thoughts about that one.
Yeah, but we're gonna end this one pretty right now.
Yep.
What is your rating for the whole out of 10 for the whole night?
Out of 10, 9 out of 10. And the only reason they didn't get a 10 out of 10 is the bad tag team turmoil.
Yeah, I agree. I'll say like 9 as well.
Yeah.
Cause that tag team, like, I mean, if you would just take out the first like 3 teams,
If they had just made it Liv Morgan, Liv Morgan is involved. They just made it like Natalia and Tamina versus the Riot Squad for 15 minutes.
they would have got that 10.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Easy. Or for that matter, someone else. I mean, the other teams could probably have pulled off a good match as well, but I mean, those two really put on a good match. So.
Yeah, they did.
But yeah, this was when I was done watching this one Sunday, I was like, man, the guys on day 2 have something to live up to.
Right? They got some work to cut out for them.
They got some work to do.
Oh, good. I was like, how are they going to make day 2 better than day 1? Because
I didn't think that was possible.
I didn't think so either. But I mean, day 2 is good. It was questionable.
I mean,
I would have some questions. I actually had to go watch some of it again because I had because I was cooking dinner. So
yeah, I mean, I have my opinions on day 2, but I'm obviously not going to say if they actually succeeded in matching.
I'm not saying it was bad. I'm not saying it was good. I'm saying I got questions. I got questions. This one was pretty much like just laid out for me, like nice little bed with a little mint on the pillows and stuff like that. I was feeling comfortable with this one. It was good. The other one, it's like someone gave me some food. I'm like, okay. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get your point. I do get your point.
It looks interesting, but I don't know.
Yeah. The only thing I want to say at the end is that I am annoyed. Once again, I'm annoyed at this pandemic. Because if this has not been with a pandemic, it would have been at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, which means we could have gone.
Well,
I could have flown over and we could have gone to this.
Well, I think 2003 they're coming here.
Yeah, 23 should be coming back if everything goes according to plan.
Oh,
but again, I just want to shout at the pandemic because, especially to be there, to see this on, well, in my case, the network, was amazing. But to have been there on this night, oh boy, I might have given it a 10 out of 10 just because for the experience.
That's for being there.
Yeah. But no, this was.
Did you see anything? I didn't see anything, but man, I was there. 10 out of 10.
Remind me, because Toya is really tiny, when we actually go, remind me to get a seat where she can actually sit up high so she can see something.
I'm really small.
But yeah, no, this was guys, beloved audience, you need to go watch this because this was. I mean, skip the first 10 minutes of the tag team turmoil, but everything else this evening was.
Oh yeah, that wasn't
very close to spot on perfect.
Dana Brooke had they probably fixed it, but she had like a slip of her wrestling outfit. She had a nip slip or something. I think that's why it went black for a little bit.
That's exactly why it went black, and that's why when you actually catch it on network rerun, there is a short break right there.
They took it out. No more nip slips for you guys. Sorry. Should have watched it the first time.
To be honest, I didn't even notice the first time.
I didn't even notice either. Someone just told me this.
Like, once I was done and I read about it, it was like, I don't want to go back and watch just for that. Right. So I haven't actually seen it, but yeah, apparently it happened.
Alright guys, well thanks so much for watching. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for night 2, and do you have anything to say?
Not
Nope.
really. I can't wait to talk about night 2 because
Night two
it's
is
Mania.
yeah. Night 2 is gonna be interesting. Night 2 was interesting, but I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.